What is going on, everybody? Danny here. If you guys can hear me, let me know. I'm trying a new setup here. I am streaming in about 8 different locations of Facebook, probably Instagram, YouTube, all over the place. So I want to know if you guys can hear me. Please let me know. Um, and all right, sweet. So my man Kenneth said we are good to go. So today's live is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to actually show you guys legitimate, real results using data from directly from one of our clients. So I'm going to show you data from the map rankings, the Google Business Profile, the Google Search Console, all that stuff. The whole point of this live is really to show you um, how we've been able to do all of our rankings on Google Maps, which everyone absolutely loves. Every time I post about a Google Map rankings, like everyone just goes crazy, right? Um, because it really makes a huge difference for local businesses. Okay. And but today, instead of just showing you, I'm going to be doing a slideshow, right? But instead of just doing a slideshow, I want to show you, like what I just mentioned, I want to show you real results, like the keywords and like everything that I've been showing you, just to prove that like you don't need a bunch of crap when it comes to like SEO, right? And that's a post that I just did a post like maybe less than an hour ago, right? And if you haven't checked it out, go to my Facebook, go to my personal profile, and take a look at my post that I just did about 45 minutes ago, right? And it starts off with saying like, "Are you trying to rank number one on Google Maps?" And you've tried, and I listed just a bunch of stupid stuff, right? I mean, I can't like, I that's the only phrase that I have, right? That's the only words that I have for what I've posted was just a bunch of stupid stuff, right? PBNs, a bunch of content on Web 2.0 properties, bunch of press releases, a bunch of backlinks, more reviews, more driving directions, more location pages, more and more content, more internal links. It's just, and my favorite one was when I mentioned about pushing more press releases with external links that point to the CID and then the elemental P to your Google Maps URL, along with spider indexing and web interlinking like Spider-Man himself. That was my absolute favorite. And I did it on the fly. and, but like, yeah, so the whole point really is like, if you're doing that stuff, if you're paying someone to do it, if you're doing it yourself, like just stop. Okay. It doesn't work. It used to work, sure, like way back when things changed. Like Google wants legitimate businesses. And honestly, you don't need to do a lot of stuff, right? You don't need to do volume of stuff to legitimize. I can't even say that word, but I'm sure you know what I mean. To legitimate whatever, right? Your business on the map rankings and just your business in general when it comes to Google, right? Whether that's the map rankings, organic rankings, everything kind of correlates to each other, right? So I'm just gonna like just jump right into my slides. I'm not gonna, I have a little framework here that I kind of follow, but I'm gonna skip all that stuff because at the end of the day, yeah, legitimate, whatever. I'm not even gonna try it again. None of that stuff matters. Right now, the framework that I usually use on my lives, it doesn't matter. Okay. The only thing that matters is showing you what actually works, right? So we're just going to jump right into the slides. And now we were kind of putting these slides together. They may not even be in order, right? So I'm just going to kind of kind of wing it here a little bit, and just kind of follow with me, right? So the map. So the map rankings that I'm going to show you is for one of our businesses that we started doing SEO for in the summertime of last year. Okay, and I've gone through this case study a bunch of times, and yeah. So and the rankings that we've done, not 100% of every one that we do is obviously going to like just hit it out of the park, right? It's not always going to be like from like number 20 or number 18 to number one in like a week or a couple days. Yes, we've seen that. We've seen it many, many times. It's on our local dominator account. But it doesn't happen all the time, right? But the majority of the time, it will start moving. Like we haven't seen anything lately that just does not move at all, period. Okay. Everything ends up moving as long as we do the right things. And at the end of the day, when it comes to SEO, we rely on two principles. Okay. Just two principles alone, two core foundations of everything that we do. And we've done this for a long time: structure and content, right? So structure and content, structure. That's it. Those are the only two things that matter. and everything that we, have built in Chatix, and everything that we've done manually on, with our agency, even before we built Chatix, everything was built on those two foundations, which is structure and content. All right. So next slide. So yeah, again, we're going to show you number 14 to number 1 in less than 30 days. Part of the structure is making sure that your website is speedy, so that way people don't click off, right? You've got to make sure that your website performs good. Bad performing websites are just not going to perform, obviously, as good performing websites. We use 2 other web apps to kind of measure things. Google PageSpeed, obviously number 1, and then also GTmetrix, right? Those are our top two go-to softwares in order to measure the performance of the website, just to make sure that everything is good, right? That usually comes down to the way that your website's built, and then server performance as well. Okay, so those are kind of the 2 things that we look at. So yeah, website structure. Again, these slides might be off a little bit, kind of things that I've already been saying. I'm probably going to be repeating those again. So we got obviously website structure, making sure that you've got your list of services, like especially on local, right? Obviously this live is about local. Everything has to do with the structure of the website, making sure that you list out, and that's easy. Like all you got to do is just list out a good menu navigation, list out your services, and then list out whatever your sub services are under that menu. That's it, right? And then on the homepage, just do it again. It's not that hard, right? Just do it on the menu and then do it again on the homepage. I'm here not to complicate things. I'm here just literally like do this and do that. That's all you got to do. Server performance, obviously, we've recommended in the past Rocket.net. We've moved over to SiteGround. And those 2 are the ones that we've tested so far. And I'm sure there's a lot of other good ones, right? Just make sure that the server you're on is a good VPN cloud server base that you can scale. Don't use GoDaddy, don't use web servers that the performance is just really crappy. And you can easily measure that on GTmetrix and Google PageSpeed. Again, those 2 are our go-to ones. Yeah, if you're using WordPress, guys, please don't overwhelm your website with a bunch of plugins that don't even do what you want it to do, right? Like don't have sliders on your website. That's just going to slow it down. Don't have a bunch of JavaScript on your website. That's going to slow things down. At the end of the day, you want your website to be an asset for your business, right? So that means you're going to have people coming to your website. They're going to look at whatever content or whatever, page that they clicked on from Google or your business profile, and you want them to convert. That's the whole point of your website, is to get people to convert. It's not for them to read 10 minutes of your blog page that you wrote. Cool that they do that because it's good user engagement, but at the end of the day, the conversion element is the number 1 thing that you have to focus on when it comes to SEO. If you're focusing on more traffic and more graphs and more organic keywords ranking, like that's cool and all, but as long as it equates to revenue, that's the only thing that matters. If it doesn't, then you're wasting time. Okay. So revenue is the ultimate deciding factor when it comes to SEO. As long as you're getting your business or your client's business more revenue, then you're doing a good job. So again, kind of going back on this website theme, we use WordPress for everything when it comes to websites. Make sure that you don't have a bunch of themes or plugins installed on it, because it's going to bog it down. We use, again, I'm giving you guys everything. We use Breakdance. We love Breakdance. It's very easy. It removes a lot of other plugins that we tend to utilize before when we use like Elementor, Thrive Themes, and a bunch of other even Gutenberg specific theme builders. But Breakdance works great. That's what we use for all of our sites. We're rebuilding them. It takes us depending on the site, takes us about 3 to maybe 5 days to rebuild an entire website using our processes. And it's just very, very easy to do. And it works great, gets really good performance, and it's the best thing that we have. Making sure that, again, proper pages are set up on your website. That goes with what I just mentioned as far as the conversion aspect. Again, at the end of the day, does it really matter if you, okay, like this is something that I've seen in the agency space a lot, right? They make a post and they're like, we've generated 1,000 hits to this website that we've been doing SEO for the last 12 months. They're getting 1,000 hits a day. Like, cool, but is it converting, right? That's the main difference. Is that content that you're creating, is it, is it that top of the funnel content, middle, bottom? Where is it in the buyer's journey? Why are people clicking? Are they clicking just to read a guide? Like just to rank? Are you just ranking how to articles? Okay, cool. But you're going to get a lot of traffic with that stuff. But again, is it going to rank? Is it actually going to make the difference in your client's business in terms of revenue? If it's not, then you're wasting time, right? So again, make sure that your pages are set up properly. Next thing, make sure that your website's optimized for clicks and conversion. Again, like I said at the beginning, I'm repeating myself at this point with these slides. Topical authority, right? Making sure that your website is focused on the full topic of what your what your business is on. Don't go too far niche down. For example, if you're gonna do like car repair, don't do like just battery replacement type of websites. Like focus on the entire aspect of like car repair and things like that. And then everything like engine repair, transmission repair, battery repair, like whatever your topics are going to focus on are your topic clusters, right? So you want to show Google topical authority when it comes to content. Making sure, like, again, I just mentioned this, right? Top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. Every section, every type of funnel, whether it's top, middle, or bottom, has a different element that you're going after in that buyer's journey, right? So top funnel, usually go after like info type of content. Middle funnel, you have more of like that comparison and reviews, things like that. It's someone who's already kind of familiar with what they want to do, the type of business that they want to sign up for, but they still want to kind of make that adjustment in their mind psychologically that they actually want to commit to that next step, right? And that's where the bottom of the funnel comes into play, which are more of these transactional types of content. As long as you're focusing on the right search intent and you're focusing on the right type of funnel within that content realm of SEO, then you're going to do good, right? So just make sure that you focus on that, because there's been so many times that we've seen people write content that will just get a bunch of traffic, but it's not going to end up converting. Again, making sure that the page layout is optimized for conversion. For local, again, we're focusing on local here on this live. Make sure that you've got a good, clear call to action form that people can sign up with, if that's your element of conversion, right? If not, at least have a phone number or something where they can opt in, where you can build your email list if that's what you want to focus on. But make it easy for someone to actually just opt in, right? Don't make it super hard. Don't have 5 different call to actions. You've got phone number here, you got a fax machine here, you've got your Skype number here, then you've got your form over here, then you've got another, make it easy for people to actually commit to whatever they want to commit to, right? Making sure it's SEO friendly for search, making sure the content's optimized, right? It matches search intent, answers the person's query, all that stuff on the website. Now, again, a lot of what I'm talking about is website related, which at the end of the day is related back to what I'm going to be showing you when it comes to these results. Again, so I'm not just doing this just to show you, oh, this is also important. It's this needs to be done, right? This is part of the structure and part of the content. Again, 2 core foundations: structure, content structure. Same principle, again, same principles applied to the GMB when it comes to optimization, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Finding the perfect keywords. Okay, let me see. So I might have to jump here real quick because there is something else that I want to focus on. Let me just see what slide I'm on. Okay, it's actually the next slide. So you want to make sure that you're finding the right keywords for the people that are searching for your type of business in order for you to rank number 1, right, on the maps and on search. In order for you to drive more traffic, that's going to be matching that buyer's intent, right? It's in their buyer's journey model, and they're going to sign up for your business, right? That's the whole goal. So this is what we do. This is what we do in our agency, and this is what the results here that I'm going to show you. By the way, this result has I'm going to say that's not even the right word. The results here of this business here has generated this client from 2022 to 2023, which was 12 months. We were only doing SEO for the last 6 months in summertime of 2023, by the way. But they were able to increase their revenue by, let me go back here on my notes. I think it was 20.65%. I think I have it somewhere here in the slides. But it's around 20, almost 21% of increased revenue just from what we're doing on the SEO side. And a lot of it is because of the maps. The maps is very important when it comes to making sure that you get local people who are in your local area to visit your website, to convert, to become a lead, to become a customer, and to give you money, right? That's what we want in terms of in terms of agencies for our clients. And if you're a local business, that's what you want. And if you don't want that, then what are you doing? You know? So again, okay, so we pull this directly from Google Business Profile, right? So anybody could do this, right? If you just go to search, type in the name of that business for the GMB, and you're going to click on performance. When you click on performance, scroll down just a little bit, and you're going to see this on the right hand side, which is the searches breakdown. It shows you the top searches of what people are typing that your business profile shows up somewhere. Google Search Console works the exact same way, right? So what we do is we look at the top 5 initially, and then we just start going from there, right? As we write more content on Google Business Profile, as we do more content on the website, more and more of these different opportunities are going to start popping up on the Google Maps, on the business profile for Google, and also on the GMB, right? So we look at those 2 data points in order to optimize based on what people are searching for and where we show up. That's what we do. We don't just blindly just start trying to rank for stuff. We rank for stuff that matters. And what matters is what shows up number 1. So that's what we rank for, right? Next one, making sure that we create content for specific, which I already covered that as well. So I'm going to skip that part here. This includes Google Business. Yeah. So we want to make sure every aspect of the Google Business Profile, from the description to the service areas, everything is fully optimized. What we've done in Chatix is we've just streamlined that entire process. So instead of having to do it manually, we've taken what we've done in terms of research, how we construct everything, and then we just feed it into the AI, into the algorithm that we built. And then boom, it just spits out a perfectly optimized Google Business Profile. And that's what we've been doing. We've literally been using that for the last, couple months here that we've been doing things. Again, making sure we find the right keywords, making sure that the website impressions that we find the right website impressions to find the right opportunities, which I believe the next screenshot should be showing Google Search Console. Yep, here it is. Google Search Console. So this, if you can see it, let me kind of maximize this a little bit so I don't show my ugly mug. Google Search Console last 3 months? Yeah, last 3 months. Actually, no, this should be last 28 days. The next one is last 28 days. So for the last 3 months, we looked at, and again, what showed up number 1 on the Google Business Profile showed up here number 2 in terms of opportunities, right? So there was over 1,500 impressions for this particular keyword. Now, if whatever type of business you have, right? If you look at Google Search Console and you see all of these, keywords that people are typing in that want your type of business, do you think that's important? Yes, that is very important, right? So we want to make sure we maximize on all of these opportunities, and just focus on that stuff, right? And that's exactly what we've done here. There is another, actually, yeah, there's one more picture that's not showing up here. Let me add it real quick, because I want to make sure I focus on this one. So give me 1 second. I have it here in my notes. So what we do is we track inside of Google Search Console. Actually, sorry, we track. Here we go. Let me fast forward this. Okay, nope, not that one. I don't know if it's going to refresh. Let me see if I can share my screen instead. So while I kind of figure this out, in Google Search Console, what we do on the business profile, where you can usually put in your website. So instead of having just your website, what we do is we add a UTM tracking code behind that, which is what I want to show you, because if you're not doing this, then you're really not understanding and knowing exactly how many clicks are coming from the business profile. So let me kind of restart my presentation here, because I think I might have to do this. Go to slides. Let me reload this. No, it's not working. Let's see, remove from studio. Yeah, so I'm using StreamYard right now, which I haven't used in a long time, so I might have to re-sync the Google Slides here. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, again, that last post that I did earlier today, about an hour ago, was just I saw someone make a post in 4 different groups that they posted this in, and I'm like, this is just not what you do. Because all that stuff is just almost misleading at some point. All right. So last 28 days in Google Search Console, right? So what we do is, we add this UTM parameter, which is just UTM source. Google Medium is the Medium campaign is GMB, and then the Medium is organic, right? So we just put this data in there, and that way we'll know that if someone clicks over from the Google Business Profile to the website, we can see how many clicks has been received. Now, in the last 28 days from the business profile, because we've ranked a bunch of keywords for number one, they were able to generate 122 clicks. That's really good, right? For a local business. And that's just based on, of course, your niche and the opportunities that you have and so forth. If you're very competitive, you're just going to get a bunch of more clicks, right? A very competitive industry. But the strategy is literally the same. How to group your keywords together so that you can own all the searches in your radius. Obviously, you want to focus on, this is part of the content when it comes to the website. You want to make sure that you kind of group things together on pages. So, like, for example, let's take the same business here that we're looking at, the chiropractor in Boca Raton. If we were to write a page on chiropractor Boca Raton, and then we wrote another page on Boca Raton chiropractor, and then we wrote another page on chiropractor in Boca Raton, all we're doing is we're just cannibalizing our content. That's not what you want. You want to group things that are very similar and with semantic relevancy, and create one very strong piece of content together, right? And again, like I just mentioned, it helps avoid cannibalization. Clustering keywords together helps properly optimize your content for users. All right, so when it comes to the map rankings, because this is what just drives people like crazy, right? Like at an Elvis concert when he used to sing back when he was like earlier, right? You have all these women just throwing themselves at Elvis. And whenever I see anybody, not even just myself, or when I see anybody making a post on the map rankings, like the same thing happens. Is people just go crazy, and like you get all this engagement. So this, if you can see this, hopefully you guys can see this pretty clearly. This map ranking here, and if you can't, let me just kind of explain it. This was done on January 18th, right? So we got January 18th here at 10:22 a.m. We set up a recurring scan for chiropractor Boca Raton, which is that same keyword that we just showed you that was number one on Google Business Profile and on Google Search Console. It showed up there as well on the very top. And average ranking was almost a 14, right? Which is what this live is about, ranking 14 to number one in less than 30 days. So ranking 14 on the on the 18th of January. The next one was on, and for some reason this one skipped. I don't know why, but it skipped to February 2nd. Even though it ran the week prior to that, it's not showing up. So the next data point that we have is February 2nd. They ranked a 2.62. Cool, right? So that's where they're ranking. So they went from 14 to number 2, number 3 in about 2 weeks. Then I ran another scan today, right before this live, which was at let me see. I can't see here. It's too small. At almost 1:40 p.m. and it's 2:30 p.m. right now, right? So I ran another scan just to see what kind of difference, because we usually set up our scans every Friday, just to let everyone know. We tend to do it after 8 o'clock in the morning when they're open. If you run scans at night, it's going to show a big difference, and it's usually worse than if you were to run a scan when they're actually open, like during business hours. So make sure you guys run your scan, preferably like morning, early afternoon, but do it between the time of business. So from last week, from the 2nd to today, which is 6 days, they went from like almost number 3 to about 1.5. But again, everything that I've talked about, like the research, like the content stuff, the structure of the content, everything has allowed them to rank for the number one, keyword on Google Business Profile from number 14 to now pretty much number 1 across the map. In that period of time from, it was I think the 19th of January. Yeah, January 19th to today, which is like 3 weeks or so, right? And that's the point that I wanted to show you guys is like, all that stuff that, that we see or we've done in the past or we outsource, whether it's Fiverr, whether it's a white label, um, or that other people are telling you like you've got to do all this stuff, like that stuff doesn't matter. Um, the goal is obviously to own the full narrative when it comes to search, right? And search for local, you've got two different things to play with. You've got the Google Business Profile, you got the map rankings, and you've got organic search. And then utilizing these two things that Google are giving us, right? The business profile performance section, and then Google Search Console allows us to analyze the data and then use that data in order to, to just become number one, right? That's the whole point. Obviously, writing high quality converting articles that answer people's query when it comes to whatever they're searching for. So they actually show up to your business, they show up to your website, they convert, and then everybody is happy, right? Again, I already talked about this, focusing on the right search intent, the right buyer's journey. I mentioned this at the very beginning of this live because that's very, very important. And this also transitions over to your Google Business Profile content. You want to make sure that we focus on the right things. Like if you're posting on your content, if you're posting on your Google Business Profile when it comes to the post that, we've got a 10% off today for the next week, right? You're making posts on the events section, because on Google Business Profile, you have 3 different sections that you can make posts on. You've got updates, which is what we use. You've got, and I'm going here into Business Profile real quick so I can show you, or I can tell you, not show you, because I'm not able to share my screen here. So if you click on update, you've got add update, add offer, and add event. What we focus on is add update. Okay. We used to do like add offers and add events and all that kind of stuff, but we found that just doing the updates and doing the updates with the right content and saying the right things is what ultimately makes a difference. How to make backlinks easy so Google trusts you automatically. And that's just, it's not every piece of content has to link, like, and not every single Google Business Profile post has to link over to your website, but we do occasionally, just depending on what we're writing, what we want to focus on. Maybe if we want to push certain things a little bit more, then we'll create, we'll just add a link from, doing the adding the updates, creating an update post in Google Business Profile, adding a button that literally just says learn more, and then linking that over to the website. That's all we do for local businesses, unless it's a very competitive area, but you don't need to create external backlinks from like high quality domain authority sites or any of that stuff. Now, if you're doing like non-local stuff, then yes, some of that stuff will eventually matter. Again, I said eventually. Our core focus is 2 things, right? Structure and content, right? Those are the 2 things that we focus on in order to achieve the results that we have. Other great points for, especially for local, be active on social media, create videos, do TikToks, do reels on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. That also reflects back on the business profile. It's not absolutely required, but it will help not only on SEO side, but just with lead gens in general, especially if you're also running paid advertising. Yeah. And again, the reviews are important. A lot of the results that we've been doing, that we've been posting on my page has not really incorporated the, generating more 5-star reviews aspect of that business profile. It's been strictly on structure and content. Okay. But at the same time, yes, generating more 5-star reviews is important. It's something that should pretty much be done in the business as well. Right. And yeah, this slide's pretty much over. Just letting people know, hey, make sure that you make posts, you make reviews. You also add images and videos and stuff like that, because that helps too. So that's it. Like that's the whole live. Again, you don't need to be doing a lot of this stuff that just doesn't work anymore, right? Content structure, content, those are the 2 most important things. So if you're watching, you want to try out how, you want to try the Google Business Optimization tool inside of Chatix. We are giving away pretty much a 5-day trial. Just type #Chatix if you guys want. We'll go ahead and reach out to you and get you set up on our trial. Our trial is pretty much every aspect. So there's a bunch of different features inside of Chatix, which I'm not going to cover right now. I'm just quickly, keyword ranking tracker, keyword research, a clustering aspect, created topical maps. We're incorporating like visual topical clusters, all that kind of stuff, just to make things easier. Google Business Optimization, all that. Everything in Chatix at right now is pretty much unlimited except the content. The only thing you're really paying for is just the content structure or the content creation for the website, which is based on credits. But everything else right now, even on the trial plans, I believe, and I'll double check, but everything else, even on the trial plans, is pretty much unlimited usage. So yeah, if you guys want, just test out Tradix, you want to just test out Chatix, we're giving away a 5-day trial. We'll reach out to you in a little bit, sometime later today, tomorrow, and get you set up on the trial. And then we'll invite you. Then from there you can join the Skool community, which we'll make updates as often as we can and things like that. And yeah, I mean, but again, the whole goal, if you want to optimize your business profile and hit those #1 spots on all these different keywords, it's not complicated at all. We especially with Chatix, the whole goal is just to make it as easy as possible for you guys to click, do a little clicks after that, and then just push that data back to the business profile and just sit and watch it rank. Right, sit and rank. That might be my next live. Just sit and rank, like how to just sit down and just rank your maps. So again, guys, that should be it. Till next week, guys. See ya.